Anything else you want to add?
Just how freaking jacked I look in this
that was
suit.
a deep breath.
Yeah, talk about an episode about comfort. Are you comfortable in that?
I'm not comfortable in this jacket. I grabbed this jacket before we left Dallas and thinking, oh, I haven't worn this in a while. And now
And you have the gains.
I'm going to rip this thing.
Honestly,
I like it. Don't rip
Try
it.
to, I mean, just one good flex for the
What
thumbnail.
if it? Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that camera.
What?
Look at that camera.
Which one? This one? This one.
There's so many cameras. What if it busted open?
That would be. John,
This is what I'm dealing with here.
the
Babe,
biceps.
I
Good morning.
I have not worn this jacket in a couple years.
You're gonna bust out of that.
Look at that. I'm getting yacked. Look at that.
Yoked? Isn't it yoked?
It was a combination between yoked and jacked, and it came out as yacked. I think yacked means
You
if you're
just
like
made
really.
that up?
No, I think I've heard people talk about being yacked when they're like on cocaine.
Oh.
They're yacked out of their mind. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
I meant
You've
jacked.
never even tried Coke in your life, have you?
No.
Not one time?
No.
How many times were you offered?
Lots of times.
Why did you say no? Why did you choose to just say no?
Dare to keep kids off drugs.
Yeah. Do you remember the old 80s like drug commercials, George? There was like the Dare to Keep Kids Off Drugs and the kidnapping vans in McGruff.
McGruff.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, I remember McGruff. And then do you remember Smokey the Bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's crazy how stop, drop, and roll is no longer a thing.
What is it now?
Oh, wow.
If
yeah,
there
what are you
was a
supposed
fire, you're supposed to stop, drop, and roll.
to do? I remember,
That's
but
what we
are
were
you supposed
taught
to
in
do now?
school. I don't know. Run? I don't know.
If you're on fire?
If you're on fire, I would probably stop, drop, and roll. You didn't learn that, George?
I did learn that, but
Oh.
I was asking what the new thing would be.
Is Dare
Yeah.
even still around?
I don't.
It
I think
is.
they
I don't
call
think
it
my
something
kids
else.
do it, though. My kids don't do Dare.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
I never did drug. I don't know what. I tried to remember that the other day of like what instilled that like fear in me so that I can do the same thing to my kids. Because
Yeah, I know what mine was.
Weed, but I never like. What was yours? Oh, I know
My
what
dad.
yours was.
Yeah,
I
my
know
parents
what
did
yours was.
drugs, so I was like, wow,
I
I'm
was
never
thinking
going to
school
be
program.
like that.
Like that's what in my head was thinking. What school program were you talking about? But
And my dad had like all the stories, so it just scared me.
my grandpa drove the Dare race car out here in Vegas. He was a cop out here for 40-something years.
That's pretty iconic.
You know what is iconic? He was a helicopter cop, and he was. Remember when? So what is it now? It's now the Horseshoe. Used to be called Bally's, which was the old MGM. And so MGM, that building was on fire back in like the 80s.
Wait, before
Yeah.
Bally's was Bally's, it was called MGM?
It was the MGM.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was, and that caught on fire, and all these people were up on the roof because actually that fire changed the fire codes for Vegas for years, or for forever.
How do you know this? Because you were a kid?
Because I would no, I remember hearing the stories afterwards. Like I
Okay.
wasn't around.
Yeah.
It might have been even before I was born, like
Yeah.
late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
And so the problem was that a lot of the materials that the hotel was built with at the time were not like fire tested, and so they created this like toxic smoke. Most people died of the smoke inhalation than the actual flames, but it also caused everything was flammable. So anyway, all these people were up on the roof. And so he was getting people off of the roof in this helicopter, piling them into the helicopter and taking them down
Wow.
to the
Like
ground.
just loads of people.
Yeah, he was in like Time magazine for it.
That's really cool.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
He was actually the co-pilot, and so apparently he said he had to he upset a lot of people while he was up there because a lot of people, high rollers and stuff, were up there with all their luggage, and he was like, the luggage can't go. We've got to go. And like people would fight him about taking their luggage. And he's like, finally, I just started throwing luggage off the roof because people
'Cause you're
would not
saving
want. Yeah,
lives.
he's like, I got to get people.
It's like the airline that was recently on fire, and you see people sliding down the slide with their fucking carry-ons.
with their carry-ons.
It's
Yeah.
like, man, get out of the way.
Okay.
The plane is literally on fire.
Let's talk about that.
know.
Then. Would you just ditch your carry-on with all the makeup?
I mean, it's not my makeup. It's probably like some of my more meaningful jewelry that have like a story behind it that was like passed down, and I'm not like. So yeah, that would make me sad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a thing, and a life is, worth more than like the thing. So
Yeah.
would it make me sad? Yes. Would I try and grab my carry-on? No, I'd feel terrible.
Well, I
would
think
want
in
it.
that case, though, like you're just getting out. Like the helicopter example, they're trying to pile people in, so you need space.
Right.
So if you're just leaving the plane and it's like you can easily
tow,
get to
like
it,
on
you're
your
just getting off. I think
chest,
that's all right.
Yeah.
Now, if you're holding people up to get can you get the pink Rimowa back
So my
there,
Rimowa
please?
could have its
yeah,
own seat.
exactly. Then
Yeah,
that's
we
probably
should
not.
do like an episode on like Vegas, like old school Vegas, and like what it's like being born and raised here. Even though you weren't technically born here, but I was.
I'm close enough. I was born in Tonopah, Nevada. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, up north.
Up north, 3.5 hours north of here.
Wow.
1,100 people.
I was trying to explain to my
military?
girlfriends about what you say.
Oh, yeah. The Tonopah Ticklers.
They didn't get it.
Old Johnny Gray and the Tonopah Ticklers. Coming
so gross. Yeah. Anywho.
So Tonopah is 1,100 people. Mm-hmm. I was born there, and I graduated high school there, George. One of 38 kids. Valedictorian, baby.
That's why you were
Congratulations,
valedictorian.
man.
What?
No,
There's
that's still
only
impressive.
38
There were
kids.
smart kids up there. And then I moved down here as soon as I graduated, and I was here for 20 years.
And you went to UNLV.
I went to UNLV, and I started working, comes full circle, I started working as a front desk clerk at Bally's, the hotel that caught on fire as the MGM so long ago.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, I was Vegas for a long time. But I would come back I would come to Vegas all the time because my grandparents lived here. My mom's from here. My grandparents are from here. Their parents were here.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a different episode. We can dive into Vegas then. But this episode,
Okay.
I love you.
Curveball.
We're talking about is comfort killing your life and why we feel like it's important to travel and adventure when there's like so many people that don't want to travel. Like my mom paid for a full Alaskan cruise for her. Nope, I'm not taking it. She is so comfortable in her home that she's not leaving. She's happy. She watches her Dateline. I don't even think my mom goes to the grocery store. She has her groceries delivered.
Okay.
But there's so many people that genuinely enjoy that type of life. What is your thought on that?
Not for me.
Why not?
I mean,
you graduated and didn't even leave the state.
I know, but it was still a move for me. Like I moved out, right? I didn't.
That's like me saying I graduated from Vegas and moved to Mesquite. Tonopah's not that far away.
It's like 3.5 hours north of here, but it's a tiny town. So to go from a tiny town to like a big city, right?
Oh, that's
is a big
true.
change.
You guys
So,
are known for the Clown Hotel.
the Clown Hotel. Yeah.
My worst nightmare.
It is. We gotta get some pictures of the Clown Hotel.
Have you seen this
It's
Clown
creepy.
Hotel?
Yeah, it's the creepiest hotel
There's like
in the
shows on it.
world.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is
hell
Very
no.
haunted.
It's right next to a cemetery in Tonopah.
Is it really haunted? And have you been in there?
I don't like to do that stuff. That's not my
He won't
thing.
even watch a scary movie.
I went into the gift shop and there's clowns everywhere in there.
Yeah.
It's enough to creep you out.
Were you afraid of clowns as a kid?
No. Other than I did watch a scary movie that Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which
That's
if I watched
not really like a
at the
scary
time it scared
movie.
me. Did
I
you
mean,
know
if
that-
you watched it, that scared me.
Yeah, freaked me out.
Yeah.
I don't like scary. Do you like scary movies?
No, I would like to not have them in my life.
Yeah.
But when you watch a good one, I will say, like I feel a sense of accomplishment afterwards. I'm like, I braved it out, you know?
Oh,
But it's
man.
tough to get me to that point where I want to do that.
Yeah, but then for me, the last scary movie I saw was the Amityville Horror, and I still have visions that I cannot get out of my mind. It scared me so bad. And I feel like that was like a mild, scary movie.
So, yeah, well, this kind of ties back into like the whole topic, right? Creatures of comfort. And I don't feel comfortable watching scary movies. Is doing things that aren't comfortable, like for me watching a scary movie, would that be breaking the pattern?
It's a good point.
Oh, that's a nice little challenge for us that I don't want to fucking take.
I don't want to either.
Fuck you, George.
Here's the problem.
And your challenge.
I watched Psycho as a kid, and I couldn't shampoo my hair for weeks because I couldn't close my eyes. I had to open my eye to get like, keep my eyes open.
And then you
gonna
get
be
soap
behind
in
me.
your eye.
Yeah. I swear. I couldn't do it for a
no.
long time. It was literally like because I had a shower curtain, and I
Yeah.
just kept thinking someone was going to come rip that curtain back. And then one time I was working at the front desk at Paris Hotel. I was working graveyard shift. I was the night hotel manager, so I had to go run around. Like sometimes there's these. Like the computer system, housekeeping thinks that the room is vacant, but the system says it's occupied, or vice versa. And so there's a discrepancy, and the only way to check is to go check on the room and go knock, and like if no one answers, to go into the room to see if it's actually occupied. And I had just watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's a scene in there where Leatherface or whatever his name is looking through a peephole, and they're like standing there, and they're looking at the door, and he swings the door open and he gets them. And I had to go knock on like 50 doors that night, and I'm knocking, and I'm just looking at this peephole looking at me, being like, "There's
Oh
some."
gosh,
and
someone's in there. Was there anyone in there?
I've walked into rooms where people were like in there.
And what were they doing in there?
I know one time something fun was happening in there. Other than that, you just kind of walk in on dudes, and they're like, "Oh!" And you're like, "Oh, sorry." It's creepy. And then you feel like the creeper, and then they're uncomfortable. And you're like, "Oh,
Do they ever get mad at you?
Yeah, because they're like in there.
What the hell? Yeah.
They're in their room. Like, why are you coming in here?
Yes. What about the
And then I knocked. Like anyway.
like? So you did walk in on someone doing the?
Yeah.
Was it a good one?
I don't know. You open it, and it's like, "Oh."
Oh no.
And then you're like, "Sorry," and you just close the door and leave.
Oh.
Like I didn't want to. I didn't know. I wasn't gonna ask. How's it going?
Tag me in.
Is it a good one? You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean? Like it's like when you walk in and it's never really like what you imagine if you walk in on someone. Like they were probably like, I don't know. I have like all these visuals going in my head.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like it was a good time.
session.
They were having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
good for them.
like when you go to like a nude beach and then it's like all the people
Not
that are
the
nude
people
that you
you
don't want to see nude.
Yeah.
Like I got excited. I went on a cruise one time and I was really excited to go on the topless deck. And then I went up there and I was like, oh,
What are
I'm
you
so
excited
bummed.
about? So what part of that is exciting to you?
well,
To
I
see
was
other boobs?
I
Or
was
to-
young, so I was like excited to see like, ooh, what kind of great boobs am I gonna see?
So you're excited to see them, not show
Kind
them
of.
off.
Yeah, no, I don't want to show mine. I just want to like kind of see what's out there. And then it's like I was just disappointed. Which is another thing that we should talk about with the Vegas, because I feel like sometimes being born and raised here, it sets an unrealistic expectation of the rest of the world. But anyway, back to why are you laughing? What are you laughing
I'm just
at?
laughing
Are
at
you
you.
getting the visual of me on the cruise ship?
Oh yeah, there's like a lot of those are always the bad. Like the nude beaches are always like, oh.
Yeah. Like I got invited to hedonism and I'm like, I'm not going there.
Who invited you to that?
It was like for a modeling event.
Oh yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
do. That's what they do. They said they.
Well, I didn't fall for that one. I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
I did have like some friends go though, and they said they had a great time. And their shoots were amazing. They're like, you don't have to like take off your clothes and do stuff like that. You can if you want to. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't think I'd be comfortable with in an environment where everyone else is doing it and I'm not.
All right. Well, so to George's point about the comfort, getting out of your comfort zone, is that something that would be an example?
That would have been getting out of my comfort zone, but I just don't think that I would, like, for example, Playboy. I got offered Playboy, but for me, I feel like that would be something that would follow me, so I wasn't comfortable doing that, like putting all that out there for the rest of my life.
Because you don't want images of you nude out there.
Yeah,
forever.
I feel like it would, like, you know how my girls are, they're ultra conservative. They're embarrassed about me on a billboard or a magazine cover. Can you imagine if my vagina was on the internet?
Yeah. No, I mean,
You know?
there's a girl or a lady that I had the chance to interview, and she has a kid, 12 years old now, and like kid got into it at school with people because she was on Playboy and FHM and all that stuff, and you know, kids with the internet these days, shit gets crazy. So I guess with that, you know, that teeters a line, but still, if photo shoots weren't involved, I guess going to a nude beach kind of broaches the comfortability.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Greece, there were a lot of people that were topless, but it wasn't like a nude beach. And the guys were in like really skimpy, like that was just the vibe. So I had to just kind of put on my tunnel vision and be like, okay, my bikini is like skimpy enough, but it's like, I didn't. I left, in the group I was with, we left our tops on, but it was just, yeah, no big deal. You know? Mm-hmm. You're looking at me really weird. It's making me feel uncomfortable. But, yeah, they say most people think comfort is success, but comfort is actually the thing that's quietly killing your life. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think that the more comfortable we get and when we don't put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, the small stuff becomes more stressful and impactful to us than it should be. And I think that we also aren't growing or expanding if we're not being comfortable.
I think growing is like...
Or if we're comfortable.
Right. I think growing is like the key for me in that.
Yeah, so I think it's just... And then I kind of walk around. I saw it at the airport last night. I said something to you. I said, everyone's just kind of distracting themselves through life.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot. You look around, go to a place, any place, go to a restaurant, you'll see people on their phone staring, just scrolling. And I think that I heard this thing, and I think that it's true. I don't think that we're built right now. We're not biologically up for what the technology, where the technology is right now. We can't process all of this stuff that we have in front of us.
Because it's happening so fast.
We're in the era right now where it's all this is new to us and how fast it's happening, and we're not even like, we can't be bored. We can't do it. Our bodies are
I think being bored is like, the kids need to be bored. That's how they use their creativity. That's how they create.
But it's uncomfortable.
If I'm constantly like entertaining them and giving them things to do, you lose that sense of creativity. Which, again, is why I'm not a huge advocate for our school systems. I feel like a lot of the education systems, like the schooling, like kills our creativity. They put kids in a box.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a
you got to color
structure.
inside the lines. You can't do this. Like, it literally kills the creativity.
It was structured to be in an environment for 8 hours a day on repeat for the first 16 years of our lives. And then we immediately go into it again. And that's why a lot of those, the schools that you see in Europe that allow their kids to go on holiday and like experience a life abroad for a year, they understand what that means and like how far that can take you. And that kind of is a huge sense of comfort thing where I bet a lot of those kids are probably scared as shit to come over to America.
Yeah.
Like from Europe and stuff, but they're sent out on holiday, and that's the change that they endure.
Yeah, I think that I feel that you have to get yourself out of, like, I think that we are built, like, it's weird because you spend so much time trying to get yourself set up to be comfortable for the rest of your life. That's what you hear. Like our parents, grandparents work really hard to then retire, right? To be then comfortable. And then and tech has made us so much more comfortable, right? You can, to your point, your mom can have her groceries delivered. It's all right here. It's easy. I don't even have to leave the house.
Yeah.
And where I see it even going further is you can be the emotional uncomfortable things, like approaching a girl to ask her out. You don't even have to put yourself in that situation anymore because you can have these virtual conversations and you can see anything that you want to see basically online anymore. Like, that's where I get nervous, is like for the kids. It's like moving so fast. You create this persona online that there's no risk. Like, you can swipe left, swipe right, and you never get that feeling of rejection. You never get that uncomfortable conversation. You can build an avatar that is exactly, with AI and where it's all going, is you can build a person that is like into the specifications that you want, that will laugh at all your jokes, tell you you're the best thing. Like, that's the level of comfort that we're getting to that I think is scary. Because there's like physically uncomfortable, right? Going and doing something hard physically that your body isn't
and overcoming that,
Yeah, and there's lots of benefits of that. But then there's also like, I was trying to explain this to Nixon the other day, of like, being embarrassed it's a good feeling to feel. Like, you need to feel that. Like, when you think about it, you're like embarrassed. Being embarrassed sucks. Like, but you need to feel that. You need to go through that. And I feel like we're creating these environments now where the kids don't even have to experience that.
Wait, why do you think Nixon needs to feel embarrassed?
I think you need to experience. That's the life experience. That's it. You need to go through all the emotions: sadness, grief, anger. That's what we're here for, is to go through that and endure. And I think the work is the reason we're here, and the challenge, and to be uncomfortable, and to that's what the point of this all is. That's where I'm coming to learn. I think that's the point, and I feel that we are putting ourselves in these situations, or in a scenario, in an environment now where everything's just going to be at our disposal, when we want it, how we want it. It's going to be that. I'm scared. I don't like it. Yeah.
I think they say without the risk, there's no reward. Clearly, if you got to try, but most people don't even have the confidence to try. Like, clearly I was embarrassed and scared to shoot my first match.
Right.
But if I never got out there and did it, I would have never made it to world shoot. Same thing. I didn't feel like I was qualified to be at world shoot. But I still put myself out there and did it, which I'm so grateful that I did. But in the moment, it's clearly scary or embarrassing, or what if I don't do good? What if I let my team down? Right. But I think those are great defining moments.
I agree. And you go through where you asked why do you think
how do you teach that to a kindergartner or a first grader?
They have to experience it.
Yeah.
Because when you experience it and then you see that this embarrassing feeling is not so bad. It's not the end of the world.
It's okay.
I felt like in that moment the world was going to end, but then I made it through it. And I made a mistake. I fell. Whatever, in front of someone. Because
she was talking about dancing in front of people and how she gets embarrassed.
Yeah. And the more you do, the more you experience that, the more you realize it isn't that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
So that's to me, and I think that it pushes you. Then you have that risk of embarrassment of I don't want to be embarrassed. It's to your point, what you told her was, hey, I've talked to people that go on stage and have performed for their whole life, and every time they go out there and perform, they're nervous about embarrassing themselves, right? So
True.
It does, that feeling of embarrassment helps push you, but also the more you go through it and the more you feel it, the more it's it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. JJ told me, with shooting, he was the second you're not nervous, that's a problem. He was the fact that you're nervous means that you care and you want to do well.
Yeah.
So the day you step up to the line and you're not nervous, that's when you have to ask yourself, Yeah. But so I did, I wasn't performing with Pitbull. I guess I was dancing. He was performing.
Oh yeah, I've seen the video. I know this video.
At the Billboard Awards. And so we were in rehearsals, and then right before, and it's live, like right before we're about to go live, I'm like standing next to him, and I look at him and I'm like, "Are you nervous?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, I'm nervous. Every time I come out here, I'm nervous." And so that was like an aha moment. Like, fuck, you've done this so many times in your life. You're like a professional. You've traveled the world, and you still get up here for one song, and you're nervous. It's kind of cool.
It is cool. That's one of the things that I think I've learned over the last few years is I used to think that you'd look at people that have done great things and continue to do great things, and now you look at like a David Goggins or like a Cam Hanes or Jocko, all those guys. I'm kind of like, you know, and you think that there's this moment where they've like made it, or they don't have that thing in them that's like, this sucks, this is hard, I don't want to get up and go work out today. Right? You think they don't have that inside them, but they do. They just fight through that. And even as many times as they wake up and do it, you think that there's some moment that they hit where that doesn't happen anymore, but that's not the case. It's similar to like what you just said with Pitbull. That makes me think like, but you have to have that feeling. You have to push through it and know that you achieved it, like you accomplished it. But that feeling is going to be back again tomorrow. And that, I think it's elastic. Like this whole comfort thing is elastic. That's why I think you have to continuously push yourself. To your point with JJ is if you weren't nervous, if you weren't afraid of doing that anymore,
and what
move
are you
on
doing?
to the next thing. Go do something else. Take on another challenge because you've kind of mastered this. Now that's comfortable. So I think you have to constantly.
So then it's like the next level.
Yeah. What is the next thing for you?
Yeah. I was going to ask you too, like, clearly this is like something a little less, but even like when we're in Hawaii and we get up at like 3 a.m., when the alarm goes off, are you like excited or how do you feel inside? Because you know the views are going to be epic. The hike is going to be like maybe a little strenuous, but the views are just so beautiful. But when the alarm goes off, are you like, oh, fuck, do I have to do this?
Well, last time, no, because I was going to ask you to marry me. So I wasn't like, well, fuck, do I have to do this? No, I was up before
nervous.
The alarm.
Yeah, that's true.
I was nervous. I was excited. I think the hikes with Walter, because it's so unique and different and out of the norm for us, if we were doing that every day, there'd probably be a sense of like, I don't want to get up and do this. But it's still like exciting, so I'm up and ready to go.
For me, I'm like, I don't want to get up. I want to sleep. But I know that I would regret it if I didn't. And then when I'm done, I'm always like, oh, I'm so glad I came, like, and showed up to work. But it's definitely like a process for me. Like mentally, I have to kind of push myself and talk myself through it. And I'm so afraid of heights. Yeah. So it's always like a challenge for me.
That, to me, is exactly what I think the benefits of cold plunging is. I don't think that – I mean, there's definitely physical benefits of it, but to me it is that sucks. Every single time you do it, if you've done it 1,000 times, your body does not want to get into that. Your mind does not want to go into that cold water. So the fact that you force yourself to do it, and then when you get out of it, you've got all that kind of that high. It's similar like I don't want to get up and run in the morning. I don't want to get up and go to the gym in the morning. Like I know I'm going to feel better afterwards.
The cold plunge too, it's kind of crazy how sometimes you can, like I never want to get in, but there are times where I get in and I can literally last in there like 7 to 10 minutes. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I'll be like mentally prepared and get in. I barely make it 3 minutes. Like every time it's different.
I know, that's kind of like me in bed with you. You know what I mean? Sometimes, George, sometimes like, what just happened?
Yeah.
No.
Your brain has to go at ease. It's like finding like because if you work yourself up over anything, you've already mentally defeated yourself. Like that, having good people in your corner, extremely important because they'll help you put into perspective of all the unique things that you should do and challenge yourself. But I like this one. You guys broke comfortability and getting out of the comfort zone down in a way that I hope it resonates with people.
Yeah, I want to read that book you wrote, that you read, The Comfort Crisis. I think that would be a good read. And I always like equate that into like travel when I try and explain to people. Like you just don't know what the next adventure is going to bring. You know what I mean? It's just removing yourself from the day-to-day that you do, being in a new place, a new environment, a new culture, and just kind of immersing yourself in that and like going with the flow.
Yeah.
Which is
Michael Easter.
is fun.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
I want to meet him. He lives out here.
Yeah. Let's message him and see if we can get him on the show and talk about his book.
He has a new book
I have to read
out.
it first.
He has a new book
Did you
out
get
now.
it?
Walking with Weight. I don't have it yet, but yeah.
Oh, well, your birthday's coming. Maybe
Yeah,
you
it
can
is.
put it on your birthday list.
All right. Oh, I'll take a book.
Okay. Should we get out of here? Anything else you want to add?
Just how freaking jacked I look in
Babe,
this
that was
suit.
a deep breath.
Yeah, talk about an episode about comfort. Are you comfortable in that?
I'm not comfortable in this jacket. I grabbed this jacket before we left Dallas and thinking, oh, I haven't worn this in a while. And now
And you have the gains.
I'm going to rip this thing.
Honestly,
I like it. Don't rip
Try
it.
to, I mean, just one good flex for the
What
thumbnail.
if it? Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that camera.
What?
Look at that camera.
Which one? This one? This one.
There's so many cameras. What if it busted open?
That would be
Like
That'd be
fat
so
guy in a little
great.
coat.
okay.
Can I get in? No.
Oh my gosh. Get in your seat.
Look at this. Look at his back.
Babe, George, look what you did. Get in your seat, you weirdo. Oh my God. All right.
All right, we're out of here. We're done.
What the fuck?
I don't know.